Welcome to Ireland Paulsboro. Today we come to you from the Paulsboro Marine Terminal for the formal announcement of the first new tenant that Holt Logistics is bringing in and the jobs that will come with it. And whenever you can have a program or a day where you can announce jobs, that's a pretty good day. Irma?
John, it's a wonderful, beautiful day, and this is just jobs for our Paulsboro people and Gloucester County too.
And I drove over the overpass to come over the creek to get in. I'm telling you, it's a lovely view. That's a story to itself.
Well, John, our creek is just Paulsboro.
No, it's beautiful stuff. We're going to rely on Fred with his magic because we've got some speech making from the podium, not long, but a few. Picked up a few interviews, plus we've got footage of the Paulsboro Hall of Fame event that Irma, of course, was the chairwoman of, which was a huge success. So we're going to have Fred piece what he can together, and then we'll probably filter in some other shows. But stay with us. We hope you're going to find it informative, and we'll be right back.
Multi-policy discount. Paperless discount, paid in full discount, homeowners discount, safe driver discount, chipmunk family reunion, someone stole the nuts, squirrel jail, justice.
Countless discounts. Now that's progressive. Call or click today.
Thinking about a new appliance or an LCD TV? Don't think twice. Think Weiss. Weiss True Value has a full line of LCD TVs plus a great variety of appliances. And of course, hardware items like TrueTest paints, Master Mechanic tools, electrical supplies, key duplicating, and Rug Doctor rentals. And for repairs on screens and windows, look no further. Weiss True Value, from making keys to selling appliances and LCD TVs. Don't think twice. Think Weiss. 39 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
For everything, there's a season, and a time for everything under heaven. A time for sharing, a time for caring, a time for remembering, and a time for parting. When that time arrives, let Beth McBride Foley and Thomas D. Foley at the McBride Foley Funeral Home help you in your time of need. Offering a wide variety of funeral services from cremation to traditional, McBride Foley Funeral Home has been helping families with the loss of a loved one with over 50 years of combined service. McBride Foley Funeral Home, 228 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
We're here today to officially welcome our first tenant to this facility. On July 14, 2014, Holt Logistics agreed to invest $10 million in the port, bringing equipment, cranes, and technology to the site. The state, through bonds and aid, has committed $175 million to the redevelopment of this site. This multi-year agreement for the new tenant is between Holt and NMLK Steel. NMLK Steel is a steel slab manufacturer in Indiana. Initially, they will process off-site. The agreement will be multi-year. There should be 150 full-time jobs created, and will use 40 acres of the 190 total acres for the Paulsboro site. This will also require a rail spur in Paulsboro that Conrail is aware of, and will be involved in acquisition at Railroad to create a rail spur, as it will create at least 1 by 75 car unit train. Wharf construction is ongoing at the site and should be completed by the end of 2016. The county has completed the access road to the port to keep port traffic from the neighborhood. We're very welcome. We'd like to welcome you all here today. This is our third or fourth time out here, and I'm amazed by the progress that we see every time we're out here. What a fantastic shot in the arm to not only Paulsboro and Gloucester County, but to the region itself. So we're very happy with our partnership with our friends at Holt, and we have some wonderful speakers here, so I'm not going to take a whole lot of time. It gives me great pleasure to introduce my dear friend and our Senate President, Senator Steve Sweeney.
I was just telling John, we've been at this a real long time, but we made a promise that we were going to bring jobs to this region, and I want to thank the Holts for their legacy of creating jobs and creating opportunities. As I told Joe Kidd earlier, we made a commitment to Paulsboro, and we want to make sure Paulsboro residents get the first crack at these jobs. And we're going to work with the Holts in our educational community to ensure that. But more importantly than that is, we said this was going to happen. I guess people thought the day would never come. But this site's 11 feet higher. We've just acquired another 10 acres. It's real. It's not an imagination. It's not a wish. It's not a hope. The only thing we need to move a little bit faster. now that we finally got this going. And we're going to be pushing the state to double the size of this wharf to ensure that we get these jobs started, because now that we got the first, there'll be many more to follow. So I want to thank the Holtz, the governor, for supporting this project, my colleagues on the Freeholder Board, my colleague Donald Norcross, and special thanks to John Bersicelli, because this was his vision. And to think that, you know, if you help one person in life, you did something well. We're going to help hundreds and hundreds of people get jobs. That's important. So again, thanks to the Holtz for stepping up like this. South Jersey Port with Kevin Castanola and his crew, County Improvement Authority Bob, and everyone else. This is a real big day. This is the beginning of many announcements that will be here. So thank you.
You can do it.
And now, listen, I had to do this before he went to Congress. I am thrilled to invite my friend and partner, who on a personal level has created a lot of jobs in southern New Jersey, Donald Norcross.
Thank you, and quite frankly, it couldn't have happened without partners and a team. And I look around here, and starting from Senate President Steve Sweeney, Assemblyman Berticelli, the freeholders, the mayor, South Jersey Port Corp., and certainly the private side of our equation with the whole family working together. It's not lost on me, and I'm sure not on you, that many times politicians like to make promises. But this time in particular, it was a long-term vision that's coming true, and today that announcement stays so much higher in our framework. I was talking to Tommy Holt, and he was trying to decide how many years ago that myself, Joe Balzano, and he sat on a commission by DRPA that talked about the port traffic, or what I call the liquid highway of the Delaware River, and how much more capacity we needed in South Jersey. Well, the fact of the matter is, it might have had a little bump on the way, but their vision is certainly coming true with what we see behind us today in the announcement that jobs are coming here to Paulsboro. The Holtz father did such a fantastic job, but I'm going to tell you, the boys put the company on steroids, and they're doing an outstanding job. To the whole family for what you've done here in South Jersey, we want to thank you, and most importantly, to those who are looking for those jobs, it's here to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Donald. Next, I'd like to introduce former Mayor of Paulsboro and our Assemblyman in the 3rd Legislative District, Mr. John Berticelli.
Thank you, Mr. Director. Good afternoon to everybody. I'll be very, very brief because Steve summed it up well, and so did Donald, and Bob laid it out well. I look in this audience, I see Councilman Kidd, I see Councilman Larry Haynes in the back, Councilman John Giovanetti, and of course Councilwoman Turner as well. But the group I mentioned first, and of course now Mayor Hamilton, where's Jeff at? Down the end there. They were the group together early on when we started thinking about this. And we sort of looked at each other and said, well, is it really possible? It's been a long road. Steve correctly looked around and said, you know, look what's happened. So the best is yet to come. The good news is the pump is primed. The first tenant is coming. We have great faith in the relationship with the whole family. By the way, they were here early on as well, working on a potential formula. Then Joe Balzano quarterbacking. It's been a good effort all the way around. And this is just the first step. As was mentioned, this is 40 acres out of 190, plus an acquisition of a few more. Bigger, better things. But I'll tell you what, for that first new job, for the first person that was looking for a job and finds a job, it won't get any bigger. We have great optimism. We thank everybody associated with it.
Thank you, John. Donald mentioned that sometimes politicians say a lot of things and only sometimes they come true. That can't be said for the gentlemen that stand behind me. I've known every one of them, some of them since I was a kid, and some of them I've known for 18 to 20 years. These guys behind me, when they tell you they're going to do something, you can bank on them doing it. Donald and Stephen and John, they hold the best interest of the people of Gloucester County in this region at heart. And when they tell you they're going to do something, they do something. And I'll tell you firsthand, I sat with Stephen for 14, 15 years on the Freeholder Board, and never once did he say something that he could not deliver. So we're honored and privileged to have these kinds of people working for us every day, each and every day. I'm also joined here today my freeholder liaison to education, Lyman Barnes, and our next speaker, our freeholder liaison to economic development, Heather Simmons.
Thank you, Bob. It's such a great pleasure for me and Lyman to be here today because we represent two of the biggest priorities on the Freeholder Board, and those are jobs and education. We're here today to celebrate the resources that have come to this site, the infrastructure that's come here, the operator in Holt, the first tenant in our manufacturer, and it's just the beginning. And what we're doing from our end on the Freeholder Board is committing to make sure that those jobs come to our residents here in Paulsboro and in the county, and as well, we're working with Rowan College at Gloucester County, with Rowan University, and all of our K through 12 educational institutions to make sure that we have an educated workforce to take advantage of these opportunities. What we're seeing here today is just the beginning, and it's 1,000 jobs between these two operators, between our operator and our tenant. 1,000 jobs is just the beginning here. So our commitment is to make sure that we grow that and that we see success for the people who live here and who work here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Heather. I think that concludes our remarks. We thank you all for coming out today. Can't wait till we're unloading that first ship, I'll tell you. And I got to see if I can pull some strings and get me on the crane. I used to run a little crane over there at Sitco. That one over there. It's not quite as big as the crane we're going to be running here, but I do have some skills. But thank you very much for coming out today.
We continue the program here on site of the port, where the beginning of the construction of the wharf is taking place behind us as we speak. Actually, it's later in the day, so to stop work, but you see that big Weeks Marine crane in the background, and you see the steel laying on the ground, you realize that this is for real. But the group that pulled this together, working with South Jersey Port Corporation, is the Holt family, Holt Logistics in particular. Many of you going over the bridge are familiar with the name because you see it on a big crane. But now you're going to meet our new neighbor here in Gloucester County. And as the Senate President has repeatedly said, we're very excited about it for a lot of reasons. They come with high reputation, and they've been in this discussion for a while. So first of all, Leo Holt joins us. Leo, your title with the company?
I'm the president.
And how many brothers?
There's three of us, Tom, Jr., myself, and Michael. And scores of other family members as well as friends that have been involved for 60 years in our operation.
That was going to be my question, some background. When we see the name Holt, it's been on the river a long time. Just a real quick thumbnail history of the company.
So my grandfather, Leo, started our business in 1926 with a single truck. He borrowed $200 from his aunt. She banked him. He lost everything in the Depression, started over again like many people did, and kept going and never looked back. His two sons, Tom and Leo, joined him in the 1940s and the 1950s, and they drove the trucks, they fixed the trucks, they sold the business, and they landed in Gloucester City in 1967 and took an old part of the New York shipyard and turned it into something that could be, that the people of Camden County could be proud of again. A renaissance occurred there, and it's the same kind of renaissance that we're talking about here in Paulsboro.
Well, now your name, of course, has the word logistics in it because your business has changed. I mean, the basics of moving things stay, but your business has changed.
I think supply chain and logistics and the movement of goods has been something that people have been used to since they started ports 5,000 years ago. But in today, 2014, people are keenly aware of the importance of the supply chain for any number of reasons. If it's food, they want it to be fresh and arrive perfectly and safely on their table. If it's steel, they want to be sure that it's arriving with the lowest carbon footprint and the highest degree of dependability. And for us, our job is really to grease those skids and make sure that the things are arriving efficiently, safely for the men and women that work with it, and at the lowest possible cost.
And that brings us to this point here. This port site has 190 acres roughly. The first step you take here is a 40-acre project. Can you tell us, Leo, some details? We hear odds and ends. It's steel. What will happen first?
The company that's coming here is the largest steel producer in Russia. They have very modern mills. They operate out of what's called the Black Sea, so they operate from the southern side tier of Russia, and the cargo is shipped in very large lots. Being here in Paulsboro will enable them to take advantage of the deeper channel. It will enable them to send larger single ships, which is one of the great benefits of the channel deepening here in the Delaware River, and will ensure that they will come into the Delaware Valley for many years to come. There's a couple pieces to the puzzle, though. So 40 acres out of 190 is not necessarily the largest part of it. And I think everyone in your listening audience and your viewing audience needs to think about this as a canvas. And this canvas is now having one piece of the picture filled in. There are many more pieces of the picture that we intend to fill in over time. And as we create success here with the construction of the pier on time and on budget, in fact, I think you're going to have more people attracted. And we'll be standing here talking about this several times. But as it relates to these folks, they are committed for several ships a month for a long period of time, and their business is growing. They're making hundreds of millions of dollars of investments in both Sharon, Pennsylvania, as well as their operation in Indiana, and they represent a very serious long-term player. So we're delighted to have made an alliance with them. They're delighted to be here in Paulsboro, and as soon as the pier is built, their ships are going to be here.
And Leo, the product they'll ship here, what happens once it arrives? Is it simply a touchdown and move out, or does anything happen with it?
Now, this first 40 acres is going to be filled with what's called steel slabs. These are enormous, sort of first-pass steel-making product. They're 25 feet long, weighing anywhere up to 25 tons, and they are enormous, so much so that they have to be moved on rail cars. So this is the perfect synergy with the amazing rail capacity that's being built here at the Paulsboro Marine Terminal. Joe Bolzano and the people of South Jersey Port Corporation are taking advantage of the proximity to the Conrail tracks. Norfolk Southern and CSX both own Conrail and are very capable and very well-respected railroads that will take this product off the highway and put it onto the steel highway, the rail highway. And we think that this is going to be a great first start in terms of developing an infrastructure here in Paulsboro.
Very good. We have just visited with Leo Holt. He is the president of Holt Logistics. They are the operator here at the new Paulsboro Marine Terminal in conjunction with South Jersey Port Corporation. A very exciting day, and we look forward to more of these visits, as Leo said, because more announcements will be coming. And as the community gets to know the Holt family, you're going to get a sense that they know where they came from, and they also appreciate where they are. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
Life is a journey that we travel with a lot of uncertainty. When your family is faced with change and you're in need of understanding, direction, honesty, and professionalism, we at the Landolfi Funeral Home have a tradition of assisting you with all of your needs in any way that we can. We offer many affordable funeral services. Please feel free to call us with any questions you may have or visit us at www.landolfifuneralhome.com.
Rizzo Family Chiropractic Center in Gibbstown offers pain relief with a difference. Using specific chiropractic adjustments, Rizzo Family Chiropractic will get to the root of your problem quickly. Bring your headaches, neck, back, joint, or limb pain to Dr. Karen Rizzo. If you have recurring pain, chiropractic can help. Rizzo Family Chiropractic can relieve many sources of pain without extended treatment and ongoing therapy. Give your family the gift of caring professional pain relief with a difference. Rizzo Family Chiropractic.
And welcome back. I think we're taping on October 27th. I've actually lost track of what date it is. I'm looking over to Fred, and Fred says that's correct. It feels like really a spring day out here. I think the good Lord is happy of this announcement today. So Steve, first of all, you could fill the show several times over. You spoke beautifully from the podium today. This is real momentum.
Yeah, John, when we started this, I can't even count the number of years when we started this. The skepticism, you'll never happen, you can never get it done. And the hard work that you put in this and I and others put into this, just the fact that we're standing on a site that's 11 feet higher than it was. There were tanks that were not, that were here, barren, empty tanks. The site's ready, prepared. The first tenant's going to be here. There's going to be a few hundred jobs right out of the gate. Paulsboro jobs, because we're going to hold them to this. We're going to focus on requiring Paulsboro residents get the first crack at these jobs. And Paulsboro is a community of hardworking people. John, they're hardworking, they're a feisty group. You can tell by their sports teams. It's exciting.
It's very exciting, and again, today's just the first announcement. Now, of course, all of you are aware, unless you've been living under a rock somewhere, that Steve's responsibilities have grown because he serves as Senate President. And I always say this to you: you're covering a lot of ground. I mean, you have a full-time job on top of the part-time job of being Senate President.
It's a lot of time, John, and it's a lot of work. But as you know, when we got the Economic Opportunity Act bill, it would have not qualified for $1 in southern New Jersey if we didn't change it. And by changing it, it's $500 million in tax credits right now, and probably another $1.5 billion before we're done. That's going to create an enormous number of jobs. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day, is putting people back to work. It's not just the construction guys, it's the permanent jobs. It's so people can sustain their families, and that's what we've always believed in. And we're both blue-collar people that maybe it would have been nice to have been born wealthy, but we weren't that fortunate.
Wealthy in a different way now.
Yes.
Wealthy in a different way. And let me say this just publicly. Time will pass, because it always does. If you look around and see the things that Steve has lent his strength through, whether it was just in his regular job of being a representative for working people, the union, his service on the Freeholder Board, whether it's the bypass of 322, which makes travel easier in the summer and to help Malika Hill out, whether it's the revival and growth of Rowan University, now a research university, and what that's meant to Glassboro. There are just, and the school for the special needs kids, and how Gloucester County College has now moved in to become the Rowan College of Gloucester County. The Senate President has created a number of things that have benefited many people. And I can tell you, he has been a very good partner, and he's been a very good friend, and especially to Paulsboro and Gloucester County. Steve, I mean that for a public thank you, because you don't get to say it enough, and I mean it sincerely. Your father's very proud. We're visiting now with Freehold Director Bob Damager. Needs no introduction, of course, here in Paulsboro, Gibbstown. For that matter, the county. We're pleased he coordinated today's event with the new announcements here at the port with the first tenant coming in. So we wanted to take an opportunity to visit with him because we haven't had him on the show for a while. First of all, Bob, welcome and thank you. But before I say anything, I saw the footage of the Woodbury Parade. Your daughter's grown up.
It's amazing. It's amazing. We were looking at old films from back in the day when she was only 2 or 3 years old on the parade, and time flies, man. And thank you very much. I appreciate it. Good kid.
We've had a good day here today.
What a wonderful day, and this has been a long time coming, as you well know. This is something we've had a chance to work together on many, many years, and we're that much closer. And every time we do something, we're getting that much closer. If we can speed up the building of this wharf, from what I'm understanding, we can start getting things in here as early as January or February. So, fantastic.
I think your father would enjoy this.
You know what? He would. He would. You know, that's what it's all about. You're supposed to be out there working for the people and trying to help. And this, I got to give kudos to you. This is a vision that you had and Stephen had, and cooperatively we worked with whoever we had to do, and no stone was left unturned, and it's coming to fruition. And it's a big kudo to you for your legacy, John, because you never gave up on this. You're a pit bull on this. You got it going, and you stunk your teeth into it, and you wouldn't let go. And, we're very appreciative of the efforts that you have done.
Well, you're being very kind, because you remember, it took, and we said it repeatedly, but then Freeholder Director Sweeney, Bob was on the Freeholder Board, took a lot of support at a lot of levels, because there's a great deal of investment here on the part of the people of New Jersey, the people of Gloucester County, the people of Paulsboro, but the idea is economy. So, Bob, we're on our way. And by the way, now, on another topic, because we probably won't see you till maybe this time next year, thereabouts, winter's coming. Is the county ready for another winter season? We had a rough one last year.
We're always ready, John.
I thought so.
We're always ready.
That was the right answer. You got Larry Haynes in charge?
As always. And, we're committed to make sure the traveling public has their safest possible travel every day. So we spend a little more than a lot of other places do, but we want to make sure it's done right for the safety of our people, and I think we do a pretty good job of it.
I think you do an excellent job, as does the whole Freeholder Board, by the way. We've just visited with Freeholder Director Robert Damager, who was MC today at this announcement, and the first of we hope is many. Thank you, Bob, very much.
Thank you, John. Give your father my best.
Thank you. We're coming right back.
Multi-policy discount. Paperless discount. Paid in full discount. Homeowners discount. Safe driver discount. Chipmunk family reunion. Someone stole the nuts. Squirrel jail. Justice.
Countless discounts. Now that's progressive. Call or click today.
Thinking about a new appliance or an LCD TV? Don't think twice. Think Weiss. Weiss True Value has a full line of LCD TVs plus a great variety of appliances. And of course, hardware items like True Test paints, Master Mechanic tools, electrical supplies, key duplicating, and Rug Doctor rentals. And for repairs on screens and windows, look no further. Weiss True Value, from making keys to selling appliances and LCD TVs. Don't think twice. Think Weiss. 39 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
For everything, there's a season, and a time for everything under heaven. A time for sharing, a time for caring, a time for remembering, and a time for parting. When that time arrives, let Beth McBride Foley and Thomas D. Foley at the McBride Foley Funeral Home help you in your time of need. Offering a wide variety of funeral services from cremation to traditional, McBride Foley Funeral Home has been helping families with the loss of a loved one with over 50 years of combined service. McBride Foley Funeral Home, 228 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
And welcome back to Eye on Paulsboro. Joining me now is Senator Donald Norcross. Of course, many of you have seen his face a lot in these recent weeks. He's been in your television, he's been in the room, but I can tell you he has been focused on the main job that he has always paid close attention to, which is economic development. Don Norcross is a person that has worked in the refinery here in Paulsboro, has worked in various industrial installations along this river, and understand what it means to get up in the morning and go to work. So he's been a person that's been a real partner to Senate President Sweeney in the Senate in these initiatives of formulating the financial packages that help bring these things to life. So first of all, Senator Donald, welcome. You're not a stranger here, but you're certainly appreciated.
John, it's great to be here, and certainly what you're doing to bring all this great economic development to light. I spent many a day just south of here at what was then called Mobil, and then the Exxon terminal, and as we called it, Mantua Terminal. So this was second home. That I like to tell the story of when my kids were very young. We were driving down 295 early one morning, and there was a certain aroma that came out that everybody who lives around here knows it. And my kids said, "Ooh." I said, "Kids, that's the smell of your college education." Because the fact of the matter is about the economic development. These are great jobs that come out of here. And today's just another one of those great days where jobs are going to be coming right back here to Paulsboro.
A lot of momentum taking place, and it starts with a coordinated effort. You've heard it at these press conferences we've done, but that's not rhetoric. I mean, this has taken a lot of people pulling in the right direction.
You know, many times politicians like to say things. This has the added benefit of being true, and it's proven itself today with the new operators, the Holt Logistics, and their new leasee coming in to provide just phase one of what should be a couple thousand jobs right here in Paulsboro, just in this one site. And it's all because of the efforts of Steve Sweeney and the economic development package that we authored and moved through with, obviously, your help and many others.
A big deal, and this has the potential to be a real success story. We have a lot of anticipation. And to Donald, to you, get to say thank you in public, by the way, because although you represent a different Senate district, you have been a person that had a focus to this region, and that's benefited us.
Well, John, as you know, South Jersey has been on the losing end of a stick for quite some time when we look at the support from the state. But all of us acting in concert, D's and R's as a team, have been able to get just our fair share. We're not asking for anything more, but our fair share, which has been lacking in the past, and working together, you can do those things.
Well put. We're visited with Senator Donald Norcross, who's been an active participant in helping bring this economic activity on the river to life, both in Camden, Gloucester City, and of course here in Paulsboro. We're very pleased now that the Mayor of Paulsboro, Jeff Hamilton, joins us. And in fact, we're hoping as this season goes on with Eye on Paulsboro that we can get a regular segment with the mayor so we can speak directly to the town and give updates. So we're taking advantage of the fact that he's here today participating in this announcement. So we'll start there, but he's got some other things that he's going to bring us updates on. So Jeff, this is a good day. Now this is the second time we're down here, about 3 months?
That is correct, and I'm glad because, this announcement today by Holt's, and it's going to bring jobs not only to the community of Paulsboro, but to the Gloucester County area.
And Jeff, they seem like people that are going to want to be involved where they work. So I think they're going to be an asset. I mean, just having them in town.
Yes, I think it's going to be an asset also. But, I also feel it's going to bring a partnership between the borough of Paulsboro and the Holtz family.
And that's going to be real important. I wanted to just a couple update things. If you've driven down Delaware Street, you notice there's work going on in the municipal building. The municipal building's a number of years old, and why anybody designs a building with a flat roof is beyond me, but that building had a flat roof, and Jeff, that turned out to be a big job.
Yes, that's a very big job. And right now, the roof is being put on. We got a couple other things going on in town. We're going to have the roads done. We have them swept. We have the not only swept, but at no cost to the community, we're going to have a couple roads paved.
And that's huge. But now on a street sweeper, now the municipality doesn't have a street sweeper. The one we bought failed. Haven't been able to buy a new one just yet. You had to make arrangements to get a machine in.
Yes, we rented out a company out of the Clayton area, and they matter of fact, they went like this. They let us use that, and our guys are going around trying to clean up, keep the community clean.
Yeah, it's the little things that count, and we came out of last winter with a lot of sand on the streets, so that stuff laid around. And I noticed the other day as well, you got the sewers are being jet cleaned.
Yes, we're trying to do everything at once. The sewers are getting jet cleaned, and I'll tell you what, with that happening, I've seen a lot of water not laying where I usually seen it, like around town.
Constant battle of maintenance.
Yes, preventive maintenance is the main thing to everything.
Well, the nice thing here is if they get this first building up, you'll have more revenue and you'll be able to do more things.
Yes, and I can't wait until they get this first building up. And like I said, it's something for the community also. And Mayor and Council is very happy with the announcement of Holtz. And not only that, I think we all, the residents, and even you, Assemblyman, is happy that this is happening now, because you started this program.
Well, you were there too. It took all the council. You were there.
Yes, we all did.
We all did,
and we're just going to keep it moving.
Thank you. Visiting with Mayor Jeff Hamilton, going to be a regular guest on the show for updates as we go along. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
Life is a journey that we travel with a lot of uncertainty. When your family is faced with change and you're in need of understanding, direction, honesty, and professionalism, we at the Landolfi Funeral Home have a tradition of assisting you with all of your needs in any way that we can. We offer many affordable funeral services. Please feel free to call us with any questions you may have or visit us at www.landolfifuneralhome.com.
Rizzo Family Chiropractic Center in Gibbstown offers pain relief with a difference. Using specific chiropractic adjustments, Rizzo Family Chiropractic will get to the root of your problem quickly. Bring your headaches, neck, back, joint, or limb pain to Dr. Karen Rizzo. If you have recurring pain, chiropractic can help. Rizzo Family Chiropractic can relieve many sources of pain without extended treatment and ongoing therapy. Give your family the gift of caring professional pain relief with a difference. Rizzo Family Chiropractic.
Welcome back, and for many and most, this is the most important part of the show. It's Community Notes with Irma Stevenson. But before Irma starts on the birthdays, let me lead in with some narrative, and Irma will help out. This year's Paulsboro High School Sports Hall of Fame banquet was held at the high school, where it's now the tradition to do that. And Irma put together a beautiful evening. How many people, Irma?
We had 228, and of course, Steve Anashevsky is our chairperson, but we all are kind of co-chairs, and we all help him.
Really friendly evening. Catering was done by DePaulo's Italian Kitchen out of Penns Grove, did a beautiful job as well. And the girls' track and field team from 1987 was honored. Of course, they were in a program as a soccer team. We didn't have a soccer team in 87, but we got that straightened away very quickly. Plus, we had a distinguished group. Irma, call off some of the names because Amy stayed and got some footage.
Ed Roach was our oldest one, the class of 54. Kevin Hampton was the class of 76. Dana Sizemore, she was in 2000 in that area. We had Nita Evans as our coach. We had the late John Gentiles, contributor. We had Fred Sharp and one and only Pickle Ruffin.
Very emotional on some.
Pickle, just typical Paulsboro speech. A young man who, through wrestling and football, John, is college education, is going to be a great person.
A great person indeed. Irma, how about birthdays and anniversaries?
Right. Happy birthday to Dr. Walter Quinn, Willie Bay, Joan Lutz, Carol Kessler, Elwood Hampton, Joe Kniesow, Bonnie Cameron Peterson, Rachel Coco, Colin J. Sluowen, Thomas Haddock, Evelyn Gerlach, Kyle Kostrava, John Justice, Wayne Haddock, Ginny Oswald, Don Muskrat Mars, there he is again, John, Ginny Oswald, Emily Oswald, Anthony Kniesow, Tanner Hamilton, my great-grandson in Boston, Nancy Myers, Bob Lexa, Ida Otten. Happy anniversaries to Steph and Chris Hamilton, that's our granddaughter in Boston, and she watches us all the time on YouTube, so I can never forget her. Bill and Georgine Weiner, Don and Georgette Mars, Betty and Joe Zielman, and Shirley and Leroy Kidd. Happy birthdays and happy anniversaries, John. And we have hoagie sales. Don't forget to help the Moose family at Cook and Elizabeth. They're the Woodbury Family Center, Moose Lodge, but of course they're in Paulsboro, 2587. The first Saturday of every month, they have hoagies from 10 a.m. till the supply lasts. 423-1495. Feed My Sheep lunch. St. Paul's United Methodist Church, the last Wednesday of every month from 11 a to 1 p. All are invited. Anyone's invited to go in there. Homemade soups and sandwiches, and they have clothes to give away. It's just helping our community, John. The Eva Thrift Boutique, Taylor Memorial Baptist Church, right next to 7th and Greenwich, the old parsonage, 9A to 2P, Friday and Saturdays, good items. They have all kinds of neat stuff, John. I go in there, I get more neat stuff. I don't need any more neat stuff, but I get more neat stuff.
Yeah, you can never have too much neat stuff.
Oh, John, I was talking to Ray Miller and Mark Camp. They had almost from 1,800 to 2,000 people on the Tinicum Rear Range Lighthouse Challenge, all New Jersey. They had over 1,800 people that visited our lighthouse.
It's a big deal, by the way, because that Lighthouse Society has really pulled that together and brings a lot of people through, and not a bad thing to see Paulsboro from the lighthouse.
Oh, it's a beautiful sight. You can see forever, John.
Very nice. That's going to do it from here at the Paulsboro Marine Terminal, program number 2 for this fall season. We hope you enjoyed it. For Fred Buchler behind the camera, for Amy Cook, who's joined us today, and for Bill Crane, our producer, who couldn't be with us, Irma.
See you on Broad Street, and don't forget to vote.
Until next time.